Part 71. The Country Life of a Rich Dad. Author, Wo Shihami Gua. Chapter 701. Li Chen smiled. When he saw these online comments and the information from several parties, he smiled happily. Kanquili, have my people arrived? Yes. That's good. I'll take this batch of tea first. I'll leave it to you to build momentum. Wait for them to float for a while, and then we'll come out to harvest. Li Chen smiled. Did you plan it all in advance? Kanquili asked suspiciously. You were threatened by them at the beginning, but you didn't turn your face on the spot. Do you want to get rid of it once and for all? Don't talk nonsense, I was very angry at the time. Tisk. Kanquili shook his head. He didn't believe a word of what Li Chen said. If he was threatened like this, he would definitely kill these people who didn't keep their promises. Li Chen has been slow to act, and now there is a series of operations, even helping the other party to build momentum. The purpose must not be simple. Judging from Li Chen's current arrangements, he has seen the general idea. Next, no matter whether it is Yanzuoyao who poached people or the villages such as Shuangtao village and Wanglong village who betrayed their loyalty, they will not escape the fate of being killed. Kanquili also investigated the situation of Shuangtao village and other villages. As expected, judging from Li Chen's operation, he wanted to save these villages. But he suspected that Li Chen was disgusted. Give him back in his own way. It's a pity that such a good opportunity was in front of these villages, but they were wasted. On the contrary, Hanjian village and Bian village, although they have suffered huge losses now, according to Li Chen's temperament, they may compensate more. He originally wanted to take action against Yanzuoyao, but now, he is ready to watch. The capital played with Li Chen and was ruined by Li Chen. The four major families in Rongcheng played with Li Chen and were destroyed by Li Chen. Gu Qingfeng played with Li Chen and the entire Gu group was gone. He really didn't know where Yanzuoyao got the confidence to dare to poach Li Chen's girlfriend. Okay, then I'll go with your people to prepare first, you take it easy. Kanquili hung up after saying that. Now, Kanquili is 100% sure that Li Chen must have a unique secret recipe or something. Li Shanfu brought the vitality water and his own people, and said to Kanquili, Mr. Kang, our internal personnel will handle it next, please step aside. I can't watch it either. Kanquili widened his eyes. Li Chen, you are really a dog, and you are still on guard against me. Yes, Li Shanfu smiled. Okay. Then I'll wait for you outside. Kanquili sighed. Seeing that Li Shanfu still sent people to guard the door, Kanquili gritted his teeth in anger. How many bad things did this dog Li Chen say about himself to these people? Am I so uncultured and immoral? However, seeing that Li Chen's people were so unhurried, Kanquili's uneasiness in his heart was completely relieved. He knew that the key to Xiaofeng tea was Li Chen's things, not mountain tea. It was just that Li Chen chose mountain tea to help the villagers get rich. But unfortunately, these stupid villagers didn't seize the opportunity. Where is the person in charge of Phoenix tea? Please come out. Why is this tea ineffective? That's right, you sell it at a sky-high price of 388 per bag, where is your face? Xiaofeng tea has a significant effect, why is yours mediocre? These bastards, they won't use fakes to fool us, right? Return the goods, return the goods. There was a lot of noise on the internet. Yanzuoyao never expected that except for the good reviews at the beginning, all the next ones were bad reviews. This really confused him. Especially when more and more people responded to the return of the goods, and even blocked the door, Yanzuoyao knew something was wrong. I was cheated. Yanzuoyao was a treacherous person, how could he not know this situation? How dare this group of unruly people harm me? Yanzuoyao was extremely angry. A large number of customers cancelled their orders. If they didn't cancel, he would call the police and take legal action. All his industries would be in trouble. Moreover, they spent a huge amount of money to purchase a large number of tea seedlings in order to cultivate this kind of camellia. But now the camellia has no effect, which means that these tea trees are a waste. Damn it, go to Shuangtao village. Yanzuo took his own staff, and some even prepared sticks, and rushed to Shuangtao village. He was deceived by this group of cunning unruly people. He was jealous of the popularity of Xiaofeng tea, and he saw it clearly. Now, Phoenix tea has little effect and almost made him collapse. How could he bear it? These villagers must have switched the goods. Shuangtao village. Song Qian, Du Gang, and others were all stunned. The big explosion they expected did not appear, but countless negative reviews swept in. What followed was overwhelming abuse. Even if Song Qian and Du Gang could bear it, the rest of the villagers couldn't bear it. The consumers didn't know how to get their phone numbers, and countless calls were overwhelming with scolding. They were greedy for money, but they were really small-minded, and they had never encountered such a situation. They were directly scolded to depression. The key is that there are too many people scolding them now, and all kinds of unpleasant words have come out. At first, they could still accept it, but they couldn't stand the large number of consumers. Many elderly people in the village were scolded to the point of fainting. Adults have a slightly stronger ability to withstand pressure, but there are too many people. It almost never stops. Even if your phone is turned off, that phone will be scolded. So, people in Shuangtao village and Wanglong village couldn't stand it, and some people were even tortured to the point of committing suicide. Who are you? Who let you in? Ah! Song Qian, Du Gang, and others stood up in surprise, and saw someone kicking the door open. Boss Yin, what do you mean? Yanzuo unbuttoned his collar, sneered at the corner of his mouth. What do you mean? Are you two still acting here? Acting? What acting? Song Qian and Du Gang were confused. Hit me, Yanzuo roared. Good cards, now played to pieces. He knew that there was no benefit in cooperating with this group of short-sighted people, and now everything was ruined. Ah! Song Qian, Du Gang, and others didn't know why they suffered, and all the people present were beaten up. After the beating, Yanzuo calmed down a little, and looked coldly at this group of ignorant things. Tell me, where are the things? What are they? Song Qian and Du Gang were bruised and swollen. Real tea, Yanzuo slapped the table angrily. What do you mean by real tea or fake tea? Didn't we give you all the tea in our village? Still lying to me? Keep beating me. We really didn't lie to you. All the tea leaves are picked from the trees. Song Qian was really going crazy. Not only was he beaten for no reason, but he was also wronged and bullied online. He felt that he was in a difficult situation. Why did it turn out like this? Shouldn't the script be that Phoenix tea became popular and became a hot search, and then their Shuangtao village became a hot commodity that everyone was fighting for? The Country Life of a Rich Dad. Author, Wo Shihami Gua. Chapter 702. Song Qian and the others felt so miserable, they had never been as miserable as today. They had obviously not cheated, but they were still beaten. Yanzuo looked at this group of dishonest villagers and finally found a problem, that is, these guys did not seem to lie to him. Are they really all picked? Yanzuo grabbed the tea leaves that had not been transported out, his face was uncertain. They were all picked from the tea trees. Song Qian was bruised and swollen, and he cried. The rest of the villagers also wailed. Yanzuo grabbed the tea leaves and sniffed them. The unique faint fragrance of Xiaofeng tea was already very faint. In other words, the fragrance of this tea is fading? Why is this? Why didn't Li Chen and his team have this problem after picking and producing? Thinking of his huge loss, Yanzuo became even more annoyed. Are you sure that all the tea leaves picked by Li Chen and his team are from you? Sure, if you don't believe me, you can ask the others, Du Gang said angrily. Being beaten for no reason and being questioned for cheating is something that no one can stand. Hearing this answer that he didn't want to hear the most, Yin Zuoyao's face became even gloomier. He still couldn't figure out which link went wrong. As for Song Jian and Du Gang who were beaten, he didn't bother to pay attention to them and turned around and took them back. Madman. Rogue. After Yin Zuoyao left with his men, Song Jian and Du Gang cursed even more. What the hell is going on? Song Jian was angry now and couldn't figure out what went wrong. But now there are doubts and scoldings on the internet, which have made them clearly know that their Phoenix tea is not as popular as Xiaofeng tea. Instead, the scoldings continued, and even Yin Zuoyao was greatly implicated. Is this the tea you keep saying is from the same place of origin as Xiaofeng tea? I really want to spit on you. Where are you, the big idiots who said bad things about Li Chen before? Take a look at the Phoenix tea that you think can be used as a substitute for Xiaofeng tea. Brain is a good thing. I hope that you, the group of people who are as educated as those who are not, will use your brains and don't let them rust. We are not black fans. There is a lot of evidence here. Take a look at Mei Zinking's recorded video, and you will understand how bad this Phoenix tea is, and how bad Yin Zuoyao, who developed Phoenix tea, is. I will never use Phoenix tea in the future. I will not use anything produced by the company where Yin Zuoyao works. I don't know until I search. I'm shocked when I search. This person is simply a bad person. On the internet, a stone stirred up 1,000 waves. The office area where Yin Zuoyao is located. Many employees felt that they were suppressed to the extreme. They also surfed the internet frequently and knew that the boss was boycotted by the whole network. Everyone thought the boss would soar to the sky, but he would fall flat on his face. Everything that happened next made Yin Zuoyao so angry that he smashed his computer. There were many companies that had cooperated with Yin Zuoyao, mainly in the tea field. But bad news broke out one after another, all kinds of poaching and destroying other people's tea gardens to implement monopoly. These things, one by one, can really be said to be too numerous to list. Asshole, Yin Zuoyao roared and smashed everything that could be smashed in the office. Dong dong. Who? Mr. Yin, someone is looking for you. Who is it? Li Chen. Yin Zuoyao narrowed his eyes, calmed down and said, let him in. If he still doesn't understand now, he has really lived in vain. From the beginning, this was a game. Outside the door, a young man walked in with a faint smile on his face. Mr. Yin, hello. Li Chen smiled and sat down by himself. Yin Zuoyao looked at Li Chen with a gloomy expression. He never thought that he would be played with and defeated. From the beginning, have you been waiting for me to jump in? Mr. Yin, I don't know anything about what you said. Li Chen spread his hands. Yin Zuoyao sneered. The origin of Xiaofeng tea is near Jia village. Xiaofeng tea is so popular that Li Chen can't have no backup plan. The funny thing is that I actually thought he didn't pay attention at the beginning. Then Chuangtao village and Wanglong village turned against him, and Li Chen left angrily. Now it seems that they were all acting. Did you know that the tea gardens in Hanjian village and Bian village would also be destroyed? Yin Zuoyao said. Li Chen raised his eyebrows and said, so, their tea gardens were destroyed because you sent people to do it? Yin Zuoyao snorted, so what? I was thinking that according to the temperament of Shuangtao village and Wanglong village, they would not do such a thing that would cut off their descendants. It is very consistent with your style. Li Chen shook his head lightly, very disgusted. Are you here to show off? Yin Zuoyao stared at Li Chen with a bad look. The whole office was filled with murderous intent. Li Chen looked at Yin Zuoyao with a playful look, not really worried about the situation. Mr. Yin, don't you want to kill people to silence them? Get lost, Yin Zuoyao roared. He was not qualified, and he knew that Li Chen was not easy to mess with. Li Chen smiled and stood up and said, if Mr. Yin is willing to pay millions of compensation to Hanjian village and Bian village, I am willing to reveal this matter. Otherwise, Mr. Yin should be ready to be the next Gu Qingfeng. Are you threatening me? Yin Zuoyao's eyes were boiling with murderous intent, staring at Li Chen. If you insist on thinking so, I have no objection. Li Chen spread his hands. Swish. Yin Zuoyao suddenly took out a gun from under the table and pointed it at Li Chen's eyebrows. At this time, he looked a little ferocious. He had lived for most of his life, and even Kang Quilai and the others could not do anything to him. He did not expect that he would fall into the hands of a young junior. He was really unwilling. His eyes were red, and his anger almost broke through his reason. Oh, there is a gun? Is this a simulation gun? Li Chen seemed to be confused, and he took the initiative to come over and pointed the gun at his eyebrows. Come on, Mr. Yin, shoot here. I haven't seen a real gun yet. I wonder if Mr. Yin dares to shoot. Li Chen, if you really want to die, I can help you. Yin Zuoyao's eyes were red, and his hands were shaking slightly. Then shoot, Li Chen sneered. You dare to threaten here with a fake gun? Yin Zuoyao, I really look down on you. One harsh and provocative word after another rushed into Yin Zuoyao's ears. Back then, you were isolated by Kang Quilai and others, and you were defeated, which shows that you are a waste. Enough, Yin Zuoyao roared, his vocal cords trembling. Waste is not worthy of living. Do you think that you escaped, re-established a company, and started a business back then, which is a kind of tenacity? No, it was just that they pitted you and gave you a way to live. From the beginning to the end, your achievements were a joke in their eyes. Shut up, shut up. At this time, Yin Zuoyao was a little out of control, and the muzzle of the gun was against Li Chen's forehead. Yin Zuoyao, you are so pitiful. You couldn't beat Kang Quilai back then, and you can't beat me now. If I were a waste like you, I would have died long ago if I was played around by a young man. Shut up. I'll kill you. Yin Zuoyao was so shocked that his whole body trembled, and his finger finally pulled the trigger. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Country Life of a Rich Dad. Author, Wo Shihami Gua. Chapter 703. Bang. Yin Tableau finally couldn't hold it back and fired. There was only one thought in his mind, and that was to kill the man in front of him. This man repeatedly uncovered his scars, which would make him feel that he had lived for so many years because of Kang Quilai's charity. It wasn't until this shot was fired that Yin Tableau's mood calmed down a little. His racing heart seemed to have suddenly stopped. He killed someone. Yu Yinchuyeo's pupils shrank and he stared closely at the figure in front of him. A stream of cold sweat rose from his back, and the hairs stood on end all over his body. Li Chen smiled and caught the bullet that was close at hand between his fingers. Kick, kick, kick. Yin Zuyao staggered back, his whole body felt as if he had fallen into an ice hole, and his whole body was bitingly cold. Yu. He finally understood why the man in front of him was so confident. Because he is a strong martial artist. Li Chen smiled and threw away the bullet. Mr. Yin, it seems that you are not determined enough. The evidence that you shot and killed someone just now has been recorded. Now, just spend the rest of your life well. He stretched out his hand and patted Yin Tableau, who immediately shuddered. He was cold from head to toe, looking at Li Chen with fear in his eyes. He realized that from before to now, this man had been forcing him into the game. Even if he shoots and kills at this moment, it is still part of his plan. He could kill himself, but he didn't do it himself because he wanted to gather evidence to send himself in. After entering, there must be endless torture. You are crazy. Yin Tableau roared. How could there be such a perverted young man? Was this how Gu Qingfeng was forced to death step by step? Li Chen waved his hands with a smile, turned around and left, followed closely by the personnel of the supervision department. Mr. Yin Tablayo, you are now officially arrested. Big news, shocking news. Yin Desayeo was arrested on suspicion of extortion. More than that, this guy illegally possesses a firearm, which is also a felony. Also, it is said that Yin Desayeo killed someone with a gun in the office in public. Unfortunately, the murder attempt failed. Why is this Yin Shuiyeo so bold? He has so many sins on his body, yet he dares to do whatever he wants. Yin Tablayeo's business empire collapsed overnight. Double Peach Village. Song Qian and others looked at the news on TV with dull expressions, and they were all stunned. Damn it! Everyone yelled angrily. Mighty! He hasn't given us the money yet. The villagers howled and cried. Yin Tablayo only gave a little, but most of their tea had been delivered. Old song, something big happened. Du Gang ran over and realized that everyone already knew. The dream of getting rich was over before it even started. Village chief, I heard that Ljia village is about to invest 10 million in Hanjian village and Bian village to rebuild their tea gardens. When Song Qian, Du Gang, and others heard this, they immediately stood up with shortness of breath. How many? Invest 10 million each. How much does that cost? Their eyes were hot and envious. We have a tea garden. We can cooperate directly with Li Chen. Song Qian's eyes turned red and he said hurriedly. Yes, we have a tea plantation, he can directly invest in us. Village chief, please go talk to Li Chen. Investing 10 million in these two villages is really a loss. Yes, we have a ready-made tea garden. Villagers in several major villages were anxious. An investment of 10 million. I have never seen so much money in my life. As a result, people from Shuangtu village and Wanglong village all ran to Ljia village. Stop, what are you doing? Zhou stopped at the entrance of the village. Zhou, get out of the way quickly and delay our business with Li Chen. Can you bear the responsibility? Du Gang yelled angrily. This bastard actually dared to stop him. The people who were standing guard with Zhou all laughed immediately. Du Gang, who do you think you are? You are still doing business. For guys like you who are blind to money, are you worthy of doing business with Brother Chen? You. Du Gang was annoyed and snorted, now that Li Chen is short of tea, our tea can be supplied to him at a low price. I've delayed a big event, and you'll reap the rewards. In the view of Du Gang, Song Qian, and others, the reason why Li Chen invested in the two major villages now is because he still needs to continue cultivating Xiaofeng tea. Camellia is the foundation of Xiaofeng tea, and now Li Chen is in urgent need of tea. Apart from their big villages, he has no choice. Li Chen, it's us. Song Qian saw Li Chen walking over with the village chiefs of Hanjian village and Bian village, and immediately jumped up and waved and shouted. The two village chiefs of Hanjian village and Bian village and the other village cotters frowned slightly, but did not speak. Hey? Village chief Song, village chief Du, why are you here? Li Chen greeted them with a smile. Seeing that Li Chen did not look coldly at each other, Song Qian and Du Gang were overjoyed. They knew they had made the right bet. Several village cotters in Hanjian village and Bian village were worried. If Li Chen agrees to cooperate with them again, Hanjian village and Bian village will not have much advantage. But if Li Chen really wants to cooperate, they can't stop him. After all, the money belongs to Li Chen. Li Chen, your people are not reliable. Du Gang still holds a grudge, glances at Zhou, and starts to complain. Some people know that we are here to discuss business with you, but they still try to stop us. This is clearly to prevent you from making money. Oh? There is such a thing. Li Chen showed a surprised look. Why did the two village chiefs bring people here? We thought about it carefully and seriously. We are all neighbors, right? Naturally, we should help each other and develop and progress together, Song Qian immediately smiled and said, "Now we know that you are short of tea, and after thinking about it, we still think it is better to cooperate with you. Do you think about the cooperation of tea? Will you continue? Of course, if you can invest in our tea garden, it will be even better." All the villagers laughed. 10 million investment. Who wouldn't envy it? Li Chen took a breath and said, "I don't quite understand what the two village chiefs said." Song Qian and Du Gang were a little anxious when they heard it. This guy is obviously playing dumb. As elders, we have already lowered our attitude, but you still don't understand? Song Qian and Du Gang were a little unhappy, but they had to hold it in for the time being. Li Chen, let's be frank. We still want to continue to cooperate with you. Song Qian put on a face-saving attitude and said, "We also know that business is not easy, but everyone has a hard time. So, you add another 10 yuan to the previous 10 yuan, and all our tea garden tea will be given to you." Both Song Qian and Du Gang smiled at this moment, and even felt that they had won. Because no matter how you look at it, it's a huge concession on their side. As long as Li Chen is not stupid, everyone will make money. Although I am very tempted by your proposal, but, I refuse to cooperate. The Country Life of a Rich Dad. Author, Wo Shihami Gua. Chapter 704. Song Qian smiled, but suddenly he came to his senses and his tone changed. "You refuse to cooperate." The villagers in Chuangtao village and Wanglong village could not stop laughing. They looked at Li Chen as if they were seeing a ghost, as if they were looking at a psychopath. Is this guy crazy? You obviously have no more camellia, but you still refuse. We dropped it from 50 yuan to 20 yuan. Li Chen said with a smile, "Everyone, please go back. Li Chen, can't handle your business." "Li Chen, what do you mean?" Song Qian grabbed Li Chen's wrist and said, "We took the initiative to come over to discuss cooperation with you. We know that you are in a difficult situation now, and we even took the initiative to lower the price. Don't be ignorant." Hearing this, Zhou Zhang on the side couldn't help it. You. Zhou Zhang kicked Song Qian to the ground unceremoniously. "How shameless. How do you hit someone? Why do you hit people? Is there any royal law?" Seeing the village chief being beaten, the villagers in Chuangtao village immediately went crazy. Zhou Zhang sneered, took out the steel rod and smashed it on the ground, causing sparks to fly everywhere. The surrounding area instantly became quiet. "I'm not afraid of anything, just the iron rod in my hand. Do you understand?" Zhou Zhang said to Song Qian and others with the iron rod, "Everyone is just a shameless bastard. I'm not as good as you as a bastard. The cooperation you signed with us, Ljiakan, broke the contract when it changed hands. Now your partner has collapsed, you can't sell your goods, and you haven't received any money, so you came to us to show off? Who gave you the confidence? Brother Chen, isn't it clear? To put it mildly, it's a refusal to cooperate. At worst, it's a bunch of rubbish like you. The bastards who have got into money are not worthy of cooperating with us. You." Song Qian, Du Gang, and others' faces turned red. "Go away, you are disgusting," Zhou Zhang yelled. "From now on, people from Shuangtao village and Wanglong village are not allowed to come to Arljia village. I will beat whoever comes." "What the hell? Why don't the people in Hanjian village and Bian village care half-heartedly? Why should we not want them but want you? Just because you are not shameless enough." The people in Hanjian village and Bian village on the side were excited and felt weird. "Get out." Zhou Zhang swung the iron rod and was about to hit people. "Li Chen, you will regret it, you will regret it." Song Qian and Du Gang ran away angrily. They believed that if Li Chen couldn't save face now, he would lose face and beg them sooner or later. Unless, Li Chen doesn't want to continue running Xiaofeng Tea. By the time the tea gardens in Hanjian village and Bian village are cultivated again, it will be too late. Every minute he waits is a huge loss for Li Chen. Double Peach Village. Damn, bastard. Many people in the village were cursing, scolding Li Chen for not knowing how to appreciate others. Song Qian and Du Gang calmed down. Two village chiefs, are we just going to watch them develop like this? That's 10 million. By then, they will be as developed as Ljia village. Yes, then we will change from the best village to the poorest village. Some villagers are anxious. Song Qian blew the tea leaves and said calmly, why are you panic? Then Li Chen has no source of camellia. Sooner or later he will beg us. Have you not seen that everyone on the internet is calling on us to sell camellia to Li Chen? What the people want is what the people want. Now Li Chen is just showing off to the people of Hanjian village and Bian village. After all, the essence of a businessman is to pursue profits. As long as Li Chen still wants to make money, he will not be able to avoid us. As Song Qian confidently analyzed the situation, the originally agitated villagers gradually calmed down. Then Li Chen went too far. When he comes to us to discuss cooperation, we must raise the price again. This is natural, otherwise we would really think that Zhuangtao village and Wanglong village are easy to bully. At this moment, their self-confidence is back. So, no one was working, but quietly waiting for Li Chen to come to the door. Am I the only one who wants to know when Xiaofeng tea will be released? It's really life-threatening. Can you have Xiaofeng tea? Li's group, please. There are intrigues on the internet. Now I only believe in my own judgment. Please hurry up and serve Xiaofeng tea. It is a critical time to lose weight. Countless people have left messages at the bottom of the official website of Li Group Xiaofeng tea. At this moment, the information was refreshed. Holy shit, did Director Li hear our request? Oh my god, it turns out that although they have problems with their supply, they still have some in stock, and new ones will be available soon. Oh my god, I love the Li Group to death, so is it Li Chen or his son who is executing the plan now? It's probably that handsome guy. Ha ha ha, it's so funny. Is Li Chen going to be a handsome old guy? Just when everyone has been suffering from the slimming tea on the market for a long time, the official website of Li Group finally released the latest news. Xiaofeng tea, which everyone has been waiting for a long time, is on the hot search again. Fans have been waiting for a long time, and this time Xiaofeng tea party has 38,000 new copies. The next update will be 3 days later. In just 15 seconds after Xiaofeng tea was released, all 38,000 copies were sold out. Created the fastest sales record, 8,284,000 in 15 seconds. Shuangtao Village. Village Chief, Village Chief. Song Qian, Du Gang, and others all smiled. What's wrong? Did Li Chen come to the door? No, no. It's, something big happened. What big thing? Song Qian said calmly. Xiaofeng tea is new. What? Song Qian, Du Gang, and other villagers were all upset. He doesn't have any tea. Where does the new tea come from? You can see for yourself. In the Douyin video. Hello everyone, I am Li Donglong, and I am also the executive president of the Li Group. I am here to tell you about our Xiaofeng tea. The supplier we originally agreed on went back on his word, so we had to take the second option. The essence of our Xiaofeng tea is not tea leaves, but a special culture medium. Only by using our culture medium can the tea leaves undergo qualitative changes. These things are all natural and harmless. I believe everyone has seen that recently, our preparatory tea garden has been harvested. We will first supply 38,000 new ones. After 3 days, we can resume supply. Thank you everyone. The following are all likes and comments. Bad supplier. Who is this supplier? So wicked. I suggest to ban him. The latest news, all major tea merchants jointly verified that the tea supplier is a small village near Ljia village. They have their own tea produced and sold by themselves. They are also the profiteers who had previously instigated discord with Yanzhuo and staged the Phoenix tea. So it's them. This is too disgusting. What's more hateful is that they are still making trouble at the entrance of Ljia village and want to continue to trick Li Chen. Another video was thrown out, which was naturally edited. Li Chen, you are so cruel. Song Qian fainted on the spot. It's over, Shuangtao village and Wanglong village are completely over. This matter is just the beginning, and it has already spread all over the internet. I really don't know what kind of situation it will be if it ferments. In addition, their accounts were quickly banned. After all, Yanzhuo was in jail. Shuangtao village is over. The Country Life of a Rich Dad. Author, Wo Shihami Gua. Chapter 705. Until this moment, they realized that it was not their tea that made money, but the means of the Li Group. Now, Li Chen abandoned them, and they had no way out. Not only that, now as the public opinion on the internet intensified, no one bought the tea in Shuangtao village and Wanglong village. In order to respond to the call from above, major tea merchants directly banned the tea gardens in these villages. For a time, there were wailing and screaming in Shuangtao village and Wanglong village. They could see that large trucks drove in from Hanjian village and Bian village. It is said that Li Chen will also help them build roads, which is also part of the investment. Seeing this scene, the rest of the villagers were extremely jealous. Not only that, although the tea trees in Hanjian village and Bian village were all poisoned by pesticides before, now, trucks are transporting new tea trees in. The size of the fleet alone is terrifying. These two villages are going to be rich. Song Qian could only watch helplessly, and fell ill. They have become rich with Ljia village. It's all because the village chief is greedy, otherwise our village would have been possible. That's right, you see, now their two major villages have started to build roads, and when the roads are built, they will start to make money. We shouldn't be greedy. In the past, our tea only sold for 2 or 3 yuan, and Li Chen gave us 10 yuan, which clearly shows that he wants to help us get rich. I'm going to report the village chief. The village chief has not done anything good in these years. Seeing that Hanjian village and Bian village have entered a major transformation, it is said that a special tea frying factory will be built, and Li Chen's tea factory will be built directly here. Create the most beautiful ecological tea garden, then you can not only make money, but also travel. Ljia village is now turning a hole into an ecological paradise. When these 3 villages are united, it will be so beautiful. What Li Chen never expected was that there were disagreements within Shuangtao village and Wanglong village, and in the end the villagers reported the 2 village chiefs. What everyone didn't expect was that the report was successful. It seems that these 2 people did a lot of crazy things during their tenure. The 2 villages have changed new village chiefs, but if they want to manage the 2 villages well, it will take a long time to get used to each other. But this is not what Li Chen cares about. After this battle, Xiaofeng Tea has completely established its position as the king in the industry. It has almost reached a point where no one can shake it. Li Shanfu and others are also busy. Hanjian village and Bian village are following Ljia village in transformation and construction. Except for these core participants, no one else can get in touch with the culture medium. Even if many companies outside are eyeing it, it doesn't work. Li Chen sat at home, blowing the air conditioner, eating the watermelon brought to his mouth by his eldest daughter, full of comfort. Is it delicious? Delicious, Li Chen smiled. Li Zifeng also ate a piece for herself, and saw her sister with big black eyes looking at her. What? I want it too, Li Bu said to Li Zifeng with a grin. Eat it yourself. No no no, I want my sister to feed me. Li Bu pulled Li Zifeng and acted like a spoiled child. Li Zifeng pushed her stupid sister away with disdain, but still took the initiative to feed her a piece. Li Biwu's mouth was full of watermelon, and she smiled happily. Dad, Li Donglong, wearing a straw hat, stuck his head out and said, Lao He is here. Hearing that Lao He was coming, Li Chen stood up immediately. Li Nanfei, who was sleeping with Xiao Xiaohe and Tuan Tuan Yuen Yuen in the living room, was kicked in the butt by Li Chen. Who, Li Nanfei sat up suddenly. Lao He is here. After Li Chen finished speaking, he went out with a straw hat. After thinking about it, Li Nanfei also kicked Xiao Xiaohe and said, Your mother is here, are you going? Hearing that Lao He was coming, Xiao Xiaohe got up with a start, twisted his waist and followed Li Nanfei quickly. Tuan Tuan Yuen Yuen opened his eyes in a daze, but finally he was too lazy to follow him out, so he lay down in the nest and slept. Lao He's tall body stood beside the vegetable garden, eating the vegetables that Li Chuanlong fed him. After seeing Li Chen coming with Li Donglong and Li Nanfei, Lao He grunted and continued to eat. Xiao Xiaohe saw his mother and immediately spread his short legs and rushed over. As a result, Lao He kicked Xiao Xiaohe away, and Xiao Xiaohe rolled several circles on the hot land, all stunned. It stared at its mother with puzzled eyes. What's wrong? You don't recognize your son after not seeing him for a few days? Li Chen couldn't help laughing and said, Lao He, why did you come down? Li Chuanlong pointed to the big bag next to him. Wow, it was all some rare medicinal materials. Xiaolong, carry it in. Li Chen told his eldest son Li Donglong to bring the things in first, and he would cultivate them later. After all, there were still people coming from Mojiashan's side. If these people were cured, his camp would have 38 more masters. Even if they were in the heaven realm, they would be torn to pieces by you. Lao He ate very happily, and after eating, he treated his son Xiao Xiaohe better. Xiao Xiaohe lay beside Li Nanfei aggrievedly, and didn't like his mother Lao He very much. Your son lives well here, you want to eat vegetables? That's fine. Li Chen pointed to the vast vegetable garden behind him and said, starting tomorrow, I will mark out a piece of land, and you can come down to eat. But there is one thing. Although our villagers know your existence, you can't scare them, just know it, no problem, you can come down anytime you want in the future. Wolf King. Little Wolf, Li Chen kicked Li Nanfei, go and bring your sister and the little wolf over. Li Nanfei glanced at Xiao Xiaohe, and the two ran home dejectedly. Xiao Xiaohe, don't you think we are both disliked? Your mother kicks you, and my father kicks me. Hunk hunk, Xiao Xiaohe nodded his pig head, agreeing with his little master's words. Soon, Li Zifeng ran to the vegetable garden with the little wolf in his arms. Lao He Li Zifeng greeted, and the little wolf in his arms trembled. Lao He opened his pig mouth and showed a humane smile. Lao He said that the Wolf King misses the little wolf and will come down in 2 days. You are responsible for receiving him, Li Chen translated. Okay, Li Zifeng can get along well with any animal. She was a little scared before, but now she can handle it completely. The village is full of people now, and some people may not be calm when they see these guys. So, Li Chen sometimes has to spread the word. In case these workers from other places accidentally anger these animals, it will be really dangerous. Lao He only brought back some vegetables this time. Since he kicked Xiao Xiaohe had no regrets about his mother's departure. Now, he and his little master are truly a hater alliance. The old village chief is living in the hospital, mainly to recuperate from his injuries. Although it is not very serious, Li Chen does not want him to continue to work hard. Now, the position of village chief is held by Li Kongfeng, the son of the old village chief, so when Li Chen has news, he will send it directly to Li Kongfeng. So, the whole village started broadcasting. For many workers from other places, it was the first time they heard this kind of broadcast, and they were shocked and surprised. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Country Life of a Rich Dad. Author, Hamigwa. Chapter 706. Please pay attention, villagers and people working in Lgia village. A group of animals will come down the mountain recently. If you meet them, don't be afraid and don't disturb them. Especially friends from other places, you can take photos and videos, but don't do anything to irritate them. If something happens, you will bear the consequences. Li Kongfeng's voice echoed in the radio, repeating over and over again. There are too many large machines in the village now. Some people may not be able to hear it after playing it once or twice. Diamond sued. Are there really big animals coming down the mountain? Yang Jiankan, the general manager of Kunpeng Jianyi, and others are gathering together. After the last incident, they have become honest. If they are not honest, they will be wiped out. I heard there is a big wild boar king, the kind that is super big. Someone sat here and gestured. Lin A along on the side laughed. Wild boar king? How big a wild boar must it be to be called the wild boar king? Don't make fun of it, at most it's the size of an adult pig. Now they are working in a disciplined manner, and they are still not satisfied with places like Lgia village. Although there are some beautiful mountains and rivers, it is really not worth spending so much manpower, financial resources and material resources just to build a tourist resort and paradise. What's more, the economy here is not developed, and there is nothing to see. They also participated in the design drawings, and they are more focused on free and comfortable living. I don't know what is there to envy in such a place. In addition to the houses built by the villagers in the village, there will also be rental services. In addition, there is a special area where not too high floors are built. It is said that these houses will be sold in the future, just like the residential houses in big cities outside, all of which are super large flats. Lin A Along and others heard it clearly that the housing prices here will be 500,000 per square meter. They just want to say that the people in Lgia village are all sick in the head. In addition to the beautiful scenery here, when the park is built on the village, the houses here will be a bit noisy. 500,000 per square meter, only a fool would buy it. They did not deny that this Lgia village was quite mysterious and quite rich. It is said that it also cooperates with large companies and large groups, but if you really want to say how promising it is, they don't see it at all. Did you hear that? There are actually tiger kings and wolf kings. Yukawei, who was taught a lesson, couldn't help laughing. These villagers really have no knowledge. In the zoos in big cities, you can often see tigers and lions. I don't know if the villagers are short-sighted and dare to call everything king. They have a lot of respect for Li Chen, but they are a little sneerful of these things in the village. I personally think that Li Chen is doing these things so ostentatiously, obviously not just for fun. He must have other plans and intentions. Huang Fuchong thought for a while and said, "Oh, Chairman Huangfu has another brilliant idea? Then tell me, what else does Li Chen have in mind?" Lin A Along couldn't help but tease. Huang Fuchong rolled his eyes. Believe it or not, this village is very strange. Li Chen is definitely not just building a big park. What's more, they are used to seeing big animals coming down the mountain in their village, which is very strange. What's so strange? Lin A Along laughed. We have 20,000 to 30,000 people working here now. If even a few people spread the word, it would be terrifying. By then, the reputation of this village will be spread out, and curious people from other places may come here one after another. Look, the construction will be completed by then, and the reputation will be there. Do you think this is a good plan? Is Lin A Along's analysis wrong? That's right. But Huang Fuchong never thought it was like that. Li Chen must be laying the groundwork for something. Building a big park that integrates nature is definitely not the ultimate goal. But what exactly does he want to do? Onaltown. A bus slowly stopped in Onaltown. A group of old men and women, all of them very old, got out of the car one after another. Even they would feel uncomfortable if they sat for a long time. Is this Onaltown? Are we going to Lgia village soon? Yes. I didn't expect a small town to be so well done. Alas, I'm a little tired of getting old. It's getting late now. Let's go to the village tomorrow morning. Okay, I heard there's a good hotel here. Let's stay there for one night. Dihao Hotel. After the last incident, all the staff of Dihao Hotel were fired. It is said that this place was later acquired by a mysterious rich man. And foreigners will never be allowed to live here. This condition seems a bit ridiculous, but these people know that this place may really become the center in the future. Why do I feel that there are many more martial arts people I have never seen before recently? A middle-aged man in the crowd said. After so many years, they finally couldn't help themselves. What do you mean? What do you mean? Didn't you see? In the past, these capital families would not be so greedy, but now, all the rare treasures that can be found on the market have been plundered by them, and even the spiritual medicines used by us have been robbed. This is a gangster. You mean, the martial arts world is about to change drastically? It's not about to, it has already begun. Someone sighed. Don't forget, Li Chen's surname is Li. His. Then let's contact Li Chen. If we don't contact you, your life will end and we will wait to die. And then be recruited by them. Everyone was silent. No one wanted to wait to die, nor did they want to wait to die, and they didn't want to let others control their fate. Everyone has lived for so many years and finally created a good living environment for the family. How can they die? Even if it is really a natural competition failure, everyone will accept it. But why should those of us in the middle and low levels be unlucky? Since you top existences don't give us a way to live, then let's just overturn this chess game together. No matter you are a wealthy family in the capital or a giant in the martial arts world, no matter you are the Red Skull or the Celestial God cult, we will all be in trouble together. They don't care about the rise and fall of the Li family in the past. But now Li Chen is their lifeline, and they must protect him. If one family can't do it, then more than 30 will do it together. I heard that many people followed Li Chen to get promoted before, and these are Li Chen's allies, so they may not be afraid of that group of people at that time. They want Li Chen to die, but Li Chen may not have no means. Right now, we have no way out. Do you know what they want? Immortality. Immortality? Can it really be immortal? Even the lifespan of a great master is no more than 200 years. Immortality fruit. Can you really live forever if you eat it? Who knows? Anyway, I don't believe it. There has never been a true immortal since ancient times. I don't care about anything else now. I just care about whether Li Chen can save us. Even if it cuts off the future, I will accept it. Now I need the ability to protect myself. I don't want to be cannon fodder. Everyone nodded in unison. Yes, no one is willing to sit and wait for death. Since Li Chen can save people, let's all stand on his side. Anyway, we are all going to die, so we might as well fight for a future. The Country Life of a Rich Dad. Author, Wo Shihami Gua. Chapter 707. Evening. Boom. Clang. The noise is still going on, but Lgia village has undergone tremendous changes without anyone noticing. The construction of the bottom foundation is often crucial, and the drainage system is the top priority. After the underground drainage system is excavated, it is time to fill it up, and everything that should be there will be there. At this time, Li Chen happened to be with Murong Shui and 4 children to water his tea garden with Vitality water. With the previous trucks of tea trees transported in, Li Chen's tea garden can be said to be quite large, but if it is to be supplied to the whole country, then forget it. The old batch of tea trees are now half a person tall, and the growth is really gratifying. There are already large tea seeds on them, and these tea seeds will be refined into oil when they can be picked. Tea seed oil is extremely expensive and extremely precious oil. Murong Shue looked at the red sunset and smiled faintly. She was holding a large pink kettle, and the water that came out of the water spray was like bathing the tea trees. Her smooth face was filled with happiness. She looked particularly beautiful in the sunset. Who could believe that such a big star could adapt to rural life so quickly? Xiao Wu, what are you doing? Li Nanfei's irritable voice interrupted Murong Shue, who was watering, and Li Chen, who was admiring Murong Shue. Standing in the tea tree pile, Li Biwu, who just exposed her head, ran away. Behind her, there was the sound of Xiao Ziahe chasing and Daodu barking. Li Biwu still only dared to play with her third brother, and she didn't dare to go to her eldest brother. As for the second sister, she has always been suppressed by one hand, and only the third brother can she afford to offend at present. Xiao Wu has always had a clear understanding of her own fighting power. Li Biwu rushed over and emptied the water in the kettle, then came towards Li Chen. Daddy, Li Biwu ran so fast that she was soaked. She liked playing with water, so she didn't water the plants seriously. Li Chen picked up the little girl helplessly, and seeing her wet appearance, he had to say with a stern face, "If you get your clothes wet again, then Daddy won't take you with you anymore." Hearing this, Li Biwu rubbed her chubby and smooth little face against Li Chen's face. She finally understood that Daddy would never punish her. As long as she started to act like a spoiled child, Daddy would not be able to help but soften his heart. Li Biwu pouted her rosy little mouth, hummed at Li Chen, and smacked Li Chen. Li Chen's stern face suddenly became a little bit unbearable. Xiao Wu, Murong Shue's beautiful eyes swept over, and Li Biwu was so scared that she immediately hugged Li Chen's neck. "I'm Daddy. Go back and change clothes." "I won't." Li Biwu hugged tighter. She knew that Mommy was angry. "Dad, let's go." Li Chen didn't know whether to laugh or cry, and showed a helpless expression to Murong Shue, then hugged the little girl and walked away. Mom Murong Shue looked down and saw Li Nanfei standing aside and said, "Do you want me to help you teach Xiao Wu a lesson?" He clenched his fists, and his lower body was soaked by Xiao Wu. Looking at the eager look of his little son, Murong Shue knocked his head and said, "What are you thinking about? Go back and take a shower after you're done." Oh, Li Nanfei was very disappointed, thinking that his mother would beat Xiao Wu like him. "Xiao Long. Ah! There's more here," Li Chen shouted. "Okay, I'll be right there." Li Donglong is still the most diligent and active in doing things. Whether it's Li Zifeng, Li Nanfei, or Li Biwu, they all like to play for a while and then do it for a while. The only one who cannot be lazy is Li Donglong. Li Chen put Li Biwu down. Although the sun has set, the weather is still hot. Her clothes were dry in a short while. Next to this tea garden, near the orchard, there is a large area dedicated to cultivating rare spiritual medicines and spiritual herbs. The things here are all specially cultivated by Li Chen. Every time I help those martial arts people improve their cultivation, I use this thing. The people introduced by Emojias Hung this time, they all have limited qualifications. Even if Li Chen has such a good thing, he can't improve them too much. This is why Emojias Hung warned them that Li Chen can help them improve to the limit, but the side effect is also great, that is, there is no room for improvement in the future. In other words, after this improvement, the road is completely cut off. Li Donglong held the individual culture medium prepared by Li Chen, and looked at the Chinese herbal medicines planted here, and he couldn't help identifying them. "Dad, did you plant all these things yourself?" Li Donglong was full of curiosity. "Yes," Li Chen said, "but this can't be considered as my planting. It should be said that a large part of it was sent by Lao He and others." "Oh, these are rare species, and with this thing of yours, Dad, so they have transformed, Li Donglong understood it at once. That's right, Li Chen smiled and nodded. The father and son began to water them seriously. In addition to doing this, Li Chen had to gather spiritual energy around him. There are still many rare species here, but Li Chen knows that they will be used up soon. After the water was filled, Li Chen took Li Donglong home. The relationship between the father and son has improved rapidly and they have started to get close to each other. The mountain. Lao He returned to the wild boar herd. This is a large mountain stream. The mountain stream is lush with vegetation and lush grass. Many wild boars were lying in the mud and breathing leisurely. When they heard the sound of Lao He coming back, the wild boars who were lying leisurely just now suddenly climbed up with a grunt. Lao He dumped the bag, and a large amount of vegetables rolled out. The wild boar king lay there without moving. The weather was very hot and the temperature made it a little irritable. After seeing Lao He coming, the couple exchanged a few words, and the wild boar king expressed his understanding. At the same time, in another mountain forest, a huge tiger had stood up, looking at the moonlight, and finally looked at the position below. Awoo! Countless wolves stood on the top of the mountain and roared at the bright moon. Small animals were shivering in the forest. Ljia village. A major construction site. Recently, Lin Along has been a little mentally disturbed. Just after he went to the toilet, he vaguely heard a wolf howling, and his shoes were wet with fear. Hey, did you hear it? I feel an animal calling. How could it be? Yang Jiankan said in a daze, it's getting late, go to bed early, and you have to get up early tomorrow morning. He was really exhausted these days. The key is that Li Chen has been staying in the village, which has put a lot of pressure on him. Moreover, in these 2 days, Yin Zhuoyao was screwed again. This is a CEO worth tens of billions. Putting aside Jianyi Company, how many people can achieve this achievement? But he was still played to death by Li Chen in a minute. Look at how popular Xiaofeng Ti is now. The money earned in 15 seconds is more terrifying than their project payment. Really? I heard tigers roaring and wolves howling. Lin Along was a little scared. Could there really be a tiger king and a wolf king? Stop making trouble, go to sleep. Yang Jiankan shook his body and turned to sleep. He didn't believe it anyway. The Country Life of a Rich Dad. Author, Wo Shihami Gua. Chapter 708. Watching Yang Jiankan fall asleep immediately after entering, Lin Along couldn't fall asleep. There really are animals calling. During the day, he didn't believe it. Mainly because he had been in the village for so long and he had never seen any animals. Suddenly, they said that the wild boar king, wolf king, and tiger king were coming down the mountain, as if it was an appointment. Who would believe it? Lin Along looked back every few steps and couldn't help looking at the big forest behind Ljia village. Are there really animals there? Lin Along returned to the air-conditioned room and tossed and turned. If there really is such a thing, how can it not hurt people? According to the radio, the thing will go down the mountain tomorrow, no, today. Even if it is something in the zoo, it is locked up, which is completely different from being released. Early morning. In the morning of the countryside, there are always various symphonies. The sound of cicadas and the sound of birds are definitely the most beautiful music if you don't want to sleep in. But for those who sleep in, it is a nightmare. The sky was slightly bright. Dad. Li Nanfei got up really early, mainly because he knew that the Tiger King was coming down too, and he wanted to see it. Li Donglong had already formed a fixed biological clock in Murong's house, and he woke up almost on time. The two brothers washed and brushed their teeth together, and saw that Li Zifeng, who was yawning, also got up. Sister, why did you get up so early? Li Nanfei looked at Li Zifeng who was holding the chicken coop. Isn't the Wolf King coming down too? Li Zifeng knocked on her brother's head. Li Nanfei just jumped up, and Li Zifeng stretched out his arm to hold him down. The so-called jumping up and hitting your knees is probably like this. Li Chen stretched his waist outside, and his spiritual consciousness began to spread out. After washing, Li Donglong and his 3 siblings followed behind Li Chen. Several people went straight to the vegetable garden behind. Logically, Lao He and the others should come at this time. Li Nanfei took Xiao Ziahe around like a wild dog, while Li Donglong held Tuan Tuan Yuen in his arms. The 2 little guys didn't know if they knew that the Tiger King was coming today, and they were obviously much more enthusiastic. At this time, the roar of Ljia village had begun. The infrastructure construction was still going on, and the number of vehicles coming and going was also increasing. There were also many workers working at the foot of the mountain. Lu Kunchen was an old worker, and he had visited countless places, so he was well informed. He had some doubts about the peaceful coexistence of man and nature. It's not that he didn't believe in animals, but too many examples had happened. Even the most obedient animals will one day bite back at their owners. What's more, there are still tens of thousands of people in the village now. Once an animal goes crazy, it will be quite dangerous. Everyone stay away, Lu Kunchen called out. He was not willing to bet his life on the conscience of an animal. Many workers were still very curious, but most of them were afraid of death, so they hid far away. Boom! What's that sound? Is it an earthquake? Could it be that rocks are rolling down? There were waves of gradually strong shaking sounds coming from the ground, and many construction teams near the mountainside were furious. Lu Kunchen's face changed slightly. Everyone be careful. Ah! A worker who was shitting inside, didn't even have time to put on his pants, and ran out staggeringly. There is a wild boar. The workers around him didn't care to laugh at him, because they immediately saw the most unforgettable scene in their lives. When the bushes that were more than 1 person tall were pushed open, everyone was stunned. A huge, smelly body came out. The key is that this is not just one, but a group. Wild boar. Even Lu Kunchen was scared to death at this moment. His legs were as hard to move as if they were filled with lead. It was not until this moment that he could clearly see how big and terrifying a group of wild boars were. Wild boars, there are wild boars. The broadcast last night had long been forgotten by them. Lu Kunchen was so scared that his hair stood on end. He cursed these useless guys in his heart and roared, "Don't move. Running around will only make you die faster." Some workers in the crowd were still very brave. They took the initiative to help calm people's hearts, but the sweat on their foreheads still showed that they were very guilty. The big wild boars had already walked out in groups. Their fangs were particularly scary, and the stench was pungent. Lu Kunchen was the closest, and he could hardly move his legs. Such big wild boars were taller than others. If they were hit by these wild boars, they would most likely die. Lao He sniffed around Lu Kunchen and grunted again. Lu Kunchen was so scared that his legs were almost soft. Would the wild boars eat him? Just as he was thinking about it, Lao He pointed at the bushes in the distance with his pig head. Ah! Lu Kunchen's mind went blank, and he pointed at the worker who had just defecated. Lu Kunchen had lived for most of his life, and he firmly believed that animals were always beasts. But now, he actually understood what the wild boar meant: don't urinate or defecate anywhere. Lu Kunchen didn't know what the sentence meant, so he suppressed his fear and said, "Don't worry, I will take good care of them and never let them urinate or defecate." Workers. Boss, are you crazy? How can an animal understand human words? But the next scene made their sphincters tighten suddenly. Lao He nodded with satisfaction, and then led the wild boars away. Lu Kunchen dared not move. It was not that he did not want to move, but that he could not move. When the wild boars left, many workers gathered around. "Boss, you are too awesome. The wild boars walked in front of you, and you did not even move your feet. It's amazing. If it were me, I would be scared to pee. Boss, can you really communicate with animals? Lu Kunshan coughed. He didn't want to pretend, but everyone was adding fuel to the fire. So he said, it's said that people should have all things have spirits, and animals are the same. But didn't you say before that animals are always beasts? A worker spoke very honestly. Lu Kunshan blushed and glared at the speechless nitpicker. You're the only one who talks too much. After that, he warned, just now, the big wild boar said that we can work here, but we can't urinate and defecate anywhere, especially you, Lu Bao Bao. If you dare to hide in the mountains and defecate early in the morning again, you'll go back. Ha ha ha. Lu Bao Bao's face was embarrassed. The mountains and rivers here are beautiful. Isn't defecation on the spot fertilizer? But when he thought that these wild boars didn't attack people, he was still very scared. He dared not defecate anywhere in the future. Even if people can't step on it, wild boars will step on it. What if they come here just because they smell the smell? Wouldn't it be bad luck? Did anyone take a picture just now? Damn, if you didn't say it, I would have forgotten. People are almost scared to death. Who would think of taking pictures? What a pity, such a huge battle, I didn't see it. A group of workers sighed. Just when they were about to continue working, they suddenly saw movement in the jungle again. Could there be another animal? It's possible. Quick, stay away, take pictures. A group of workers retreated excitedly, making way. Everyone could vaguely see the big tiger coming out of the jungle. Its burly body, every step it took was so fierce. Lu Kunshan learned his lesson this time and hid far away. Seeing the tiger that was completely different from the one in the zoo, he couldn't help but concentrate. This tiger is so fierce. So majestic. What kind of village is this? They can even have birds of prey as neighbors. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Country Life of a Rich Dad. Author, Wo Shihami. Chapter 709. The Tiger King came out of the mountain, majestic. Countless workers picked up their mobile phones and took photos of this rare scene. The tall and majestic tigers were indeed 100 times more majestic than the ones they had in the zoo. Just that kind of leering look is enough to scare everyone away. The Tiger King didn't seem to be very interested in the mortals around him, so he didn't walk slowly. After King Tiger left, many workers breathed a deep sigh of relief. However, just when they were about to continue working, several more figures emerged. Eh? Is this Urha? Some workers couldn't help but joke. As soon as he finished speaking, he saw the leading Urha glance at him with cold eyes, as if he could understand his words. Lu Kunshan wanted to die for these pig teammates. After coming out of the Wild Boar King, Lu Kunshan has overturned the three views he had established in his mind for 30 or 40 years. He knew that these raptors could understand human speech. At that moment, he kicked the worker to the ground. The worker was still a little angry. Is the boss crazy? He actually kicked himself. Lu Kunshan didn't bother to pay attention to him, but took the initiative to step forward and said calmly, Wolf King, my people are ignorant of Mount Tai, don't mind. Both the Wild Boar King and the Tiger King have passed. The dozen or so Urha-like creatures didn't seem to care about it after hearing this, so they turned around and left. As soon as these wolves left, the crowd immediately exploded. You're so awesome. Boss, are you an animal trainer? Isn't this awesome? Can animals really understand human speech? Is this Urha? Is it a wolf? Oh my god, this looks too similar, right? The crowd was excited, and Lu Kunshan was sought after by many workers. But he has no proud thoughts. To be honest, after arriving here, all his three views have been subverted. He knows that some animals have certain intelligence and can understand human speech, such as dogs. But there aren't many of them. Today, he has met three species, and they all seem to understand them, which is really scary. He couldn't help but look at the mountains behind him. Are there such spiritual creatures? In other words, gone. There was no slack in their gazes, they just felt that this life was worth it. After waiting for a long time, Lukunchin found that no animals had come down the mountain, so he was ready to go back to work. "Boss, look." The expressions of all the co-workers changed. Lukunchin turned around suddenly and saw a huge tree collapse. What came out immediately after was a huge brown bear that stood at least 2 meters tall. Damn it! Lukunchin's hair stood on end and his legs were trembling terribly. Is this a bear? From a distance, you can feel an extremely ferocious aura. Zhizzy! The trees in the distance began to stir, and wild monkeys appeared one after another. Lukunchin took a breath of cold air and slowly retreated. He smelled a dangerous aura. "Everyone hides!" Lukunchin shouted. Damn, although the three raptors in the past were extremely powerful in combat, they were not so ferocious. From the first moment this brown bear appeared, he smelled an extremely dangerous aura. "I'm afraid this bear is not easy to mess with." Ouch! "Smelly monkey, you dare to hit me." Damn it, I was actually beaten by a monkey. The monkeys standing in the trees used pine cones in their hands to hit Lukunchin and his co-workers. Lukunchin quickly retreated, he didn't dare to gamble anymore. The big brown bear was extremely brave and walked towards him exuding a fierce aura. He looked at the Wolf King who left in front of him, then at these people, and finally decided to let the group of people in front of him go. The monkeys jumped around and threw pine cones at each other with the workers. Hiss! Oh my god! Damn it, I'm scared to death. Where did so many snakes come from? Damn, my scalp is numb. While the monkeys were having fun with the workers, countless snakes emerged from the jungle mountains. There are all kinds of colors, and it makes people's scalp numb just looking at them. Hey, what's going on? Didn't you say there are only Tiger King, Wild Boar King, and Wolf King? Why are there so many creatures? Everyone was horrified to see it. In addition to brown bears, monkeys, and snakes, many wild creatures that have become extinct came out from behind. There were groups of people, and they didn't know what they were going to do. Grass, wasp, hide. The faces of the workers turned green. Such big wasps were literally killing people. A dark group flew towards the foot of the mountain. Someone raised his cell phone and took a photo of this extremely horrifying scene. Plop, plop, plop. Let me go, is that a phoenix? Sand sculpture, that's a pheasant. Is the pheasant so beautiful? So you don't even know pheasants. Natural pheasants and artificially raised pheasants are completely different. A knowledgeable person can help. They all forgot about their work and took pictures of all these animals. When no animals came out of the forest, they breathed a sigh of relief and quickly uploaded it to Douyin. At this moment, a bus was slowly approaching the entrance of the village. Zhou Zhang immediately stood up and blocked the bus with his gangster friends. "Hello, we are here to see Mr. Li Chen, we have an appointment." Looking for Brother Chen, Zhou Zhang glanced at the information and confirmed that it was not fake, saying, "Our village is now being renovated. As you can see, the population is complicated, so registration is required." No problem," the driver immediately said politely. Zhou Zhang let them go only after the registration was completed. On the bus were the 38 strong men who came for help. However, when their car slowly drove in, they couldn't help but exclaimed, "Kunpeng Jianyi, Zonglin Jianyi, Pixio Jianyi, Huangcheng Jianyi, my god, what on earth is this place? The top Jianyi companies in the country gather here, what are they going to build? It feels like a big paradise. How much does it cost? Hundreds of billions. Hundreds of billions. Isn't this all funded by Li Chen? Even if they are all wealthy, they are nothing in front of the big project in front of them. Ah! Just as the car slowly entered the village, screams rang out one after another. Help! Boom! The minibus had to stop, and their eyes fell on the collapsed house. There were a few people sleeping there, and they looked vaguely familiar. Help! Help! There are bears and snakes, Lin Along screamed, and was scared to death again. Yang Jianquan, who was standing next to him, was completely stunned. When he woke up, he was surrounded by a group of snakes. What's more, there was actually a brown bear here. Not good. Seeing this, the faces of the people in the car suddenly changed. They are not heroes, but they try to protect ordinary people when they are able. The big bear is so scary now that they can't think about why such a big brown bear appears here. Evil beast, how dare you? The Country Life of a Rich Dad. Author, Wo Shihamigua. Chapter 710. Zhong Zhentang thought he was neither a modest gentleman nor a savior. But he would not watch ordinary people being harmed by brown bears. The moment he opened the car door, his figure appeared beside Lin Along and Yang Jianquan as if teleporting. The big brown bear's eyes were full of ferocity, and he raised his huge palm and fell down. Behind Zhong Zhentang, there came an old man named Qiu Lijian. This man waved his hands, and a large amount of realgar wine was splashed down, and the surrounding snakes instantly retreated. But they all spit out snake-shaped seeds and glared at Qiu Lijian. Qiu Lijian felt cold in his heart, grabbed Lin Along and Yang Jianquan, and dodged instantly. Hiss! On the ground, there were many snake shadows. Countless large snakes of different colors gathered around Qiu Lijian and the others, as if they were going to surround them. Lin Along and Yang Jianquan turned pale, and they never expected that they would encounter the greatest terror in their lives when they woke up. Bang! They barely managed to calm down, and then they saw the big brown bear, which could slap a person's head into pieces, falling towards Zhong Zhentang. This huge flesh palm with sharp claws collided with the small palm that was completely disproportionate to its own. Boom! Yellow earth flew, and smoke and dust rose to the sky. The blood in Zhong Zhentang's body surged, and even though he was a late-stage master, he was a little overwhelmed. The beast in front of him seemed to have obtained some good fortune, and his power was amazing. The bed under his feet had been smashed into pieces. Boom boom boom. The big brown bear that attacked him just now only retreated 3 steps, and nothing happened. This contact just now not only did not resolve the crisis, but instead brought trouble to himself. Be careful, Qiu Lijian said to the people in the car, turning around and rushing towards Zhong Zhentang. It is unrealistic that a master can't even deal with a bear. Unless this bear is not simple. Qiu Lijian was not careless at all and rushed to Zhong Zhentang's side. He saw this violent brown bear roaring to the sky and slapping the ground with both palms. There were 2 dull bangs, and the iron plate under its feet was slapped with palm prints. The bear suddenly kicked its legs and finally jumped high. There was a dark cloud in the sky, and the huge bear paw slapped the heads of the 2 people. Zhong Zhentang cursed, did this guy meet a kung fu brown bear? It should have been a very tense atmosphere, but as Zhong Zhentang spoke, Qiu Lijian on the side almost lost his temper. But it was strange, why did this bear feel like he knew martial arts? This is so unscientific. Although they were a little confused, they did not ask or think about it, mainly because this brown bear was a bit cruel. The 2 people were full of energy, and their internal energy was so lingering that it covered their palms in an instant. The brown bear's palm was too big and had amazing lethality. Even though they were masters, they definitely didn't dare to take it head on. Zhong Zhentang pulled back his right foot and twisted his waist. He pulled his fist back to the extreme and blasted the palm that fell from the sky. Qiu Lichen formed a seal with both hands, and a round shield about 50 centimeters long appeared above his palm. Bang! Boom! The moment Zhong Zhengtang's right fist touched the bear's palm, a huge recoil force acted on both of them at the same time. Zhong Zhengtang's legs immediately left a long scratch on the ground, and countless yellow sand rolled up around. On the other side, the brown bear's paw slapped on the round shield, and the round shield rippled in circles. The brown bear was repelled by the huge force. On the ground, palm prints fell one by one along with its huge bear paw. Ah! Lin Along screamed, and the snakes around him made his scalp numb. The strong men in the bus had to stand up. Just seeing these countless snakes, everyone shuddered involuntarily. There are too many snakes, aren't they? What did you do? Lin Hongxia, a mid-level grandmaster, shouted in the crowd. I didn't do anything. Lin Along was about to cry. Yang Jianquan's face was extremely pale and unnatural. Lin Hongxia absolutely didn't believe this kind of nonsense. Whether it was people or animals, they would not take the initiative to attack unless you provoked them. Whether it was a brown bear or a group of snakes, they must have been provoked, otherwise, these snakes would not be so ferocious. Still not telling the truth, Lin Hongxia said angrily, since you don't tell the truth, there is no need for us to care about you. Lin Along was already scared to the point of peeing his pants, and now everyone was surrounded by poisonous snakes, and he was even more panicked. I really don't know. He felt that this village was too weird, the people were weird, and the animals were also weird. Yang Jianquan was still calm, at least he didn't wet his pants. You tell me, Lin Hongxia said, if you don't find out the reason, you can't solve the problem. Does it count if we ate snake meat? Yang Jianquan hesitated. Are you sure you just ate snake meat? Lin Hongxia narrowed her eyes. Yang Jianquan nodded affirmatively. Then you guys wait to die. Lin Hongxia scolded, close the car door, the snakes are not attacking us. No, Lin Along was almost scared to death, this group of people was his lifeline. If he had just eaten snake meat, he would never be retaliated. Lin Hongxia dared to bet her life that these guys must have done something that was against the will of heaven and earth. Pig. Li Biwu rushed out with a sweet smile on his face. After seeing Li Biwu, the wild boar king also lay down rarely. Li Biwu immediately smiled and touched the head of the wild boar king with his chubby little hand. Pig, you are so smelly. Li Biwu said with disdain. Li Chen. Li Donglong. Li Nanfei kicked Xiao Ziahe with a face full of resentment and said, is this your father? I suspect you are not his biological son. Help me. Li Nanfei was terrified and saw that he was already in the air. He screamed in fear. Wow, Sanguo is so powerful. Li Biwu looked up and exclaimed as he watched Lao He hook Li Nanfei up with his fangs. Your sister is so powerful. Li Nanfei couldn't say a word. The old black couple were such a jerk. They were so friendly to Xiao Wu, but so bad to him. Grunt. When Xiao He saw his little master being bullied by his mother, he hit the old black's thick pig leg hard, but it was useless. Unlike the merriment here, Tuan Yuan, who was held by Li Donglong, was like Daodu when he was silly, jumping in front of the Tiger King. It seemed that he was accusing the Tiger King of irresponsibility, and it seemed that he was simply showing that he was very fierce. The Tiger King lay on the ground, watching the two cubs jumping. Li Donglong tried to communicate with the Tiger King, sitting in front of the Tiger King, telling him about the troubles and confusions he encountered when raising Tuan Yuan. The Tiger King roared a few words from time to time, and Li Donglong could actually understand it. The man and the tiger communicated quite happily. Is that so? No wonder Tuan doesn't like to move every time. Li Donglong smiled and touched Tuan. But will they continue to eat raw meat in the future? Is it okay not to eat raw meat? Well, I will prepare the best meat for them anyway, don't worry about that. Not far away, Li Zifeng felt even more superior. A dozen wolves surrounded her in the middle, and she felt like a little princess. The key is that these wolves like her very much, and she is not afraid at all. Every time the little wolf barked, it sounded like a dog barking, which made the Wolf King quite disgusted, and stared at the complacent Dowdu with an unhappy look. Woof woof, Dowdu noticed that the Wolf King's eyes were not right, and barked with bared teeth, daring to stare at you. Dowie, are you tired of living?